As was said the other day, someone asked the question, what is our next exploration? So let's see if these two stories can give us a gleaning of what that is. The first is the story about the seeker after truth, who set out for the long and arduous journey to find his way to come to be in the presence of the revered saint, Sufi saint Al-Ghazali. When he arrived at the abode of Al-Ghazali, he found that he was living in a palatial residence in great opulence, servants providing his every need, drinking sherbet out of gold vessels. And the seeker thought to himself, surely this is not the mark of a master. So in great disappointment he turned tail and was on his way to return from whence he came, when on the side of the road he saw a sadhu sitting under a little canopy of reeds, sucking on a date stone, wearing only a simple dhoti, and approaching him, thinking to himself that this was truly a sadhu. But true to his name, the honorific given to him, the sadhu was able to read the seeker's mind, and after the salutations that were given, the sadhu said to the seeker, "O man, born to felicity, Al-Ghazali lives in opulence and luxury because he is not attached to opulence and luxury. I live in poverty and austerity because I am not attached to poverty and austerity. These are not the measure of one who knows." Then there's a story of the farmer who lived in a small village, living a very subsistence life with his wife and several children, because they cultivated potatoes. They had potatoes for breakfast, they had potatoes for lunch, and they had potatoes for dinner. But one day, this farmer came across a book. And in reading this book, he learned that there was an island of diamonds. And the book even provided a map of where to find this island. So, with fire in his belly, thinking that he would be a rich man and be able to provide for his family, the farmer borrowed a boat, and taking the book with the map, he set out to find this island. Now, of course, on the way, he met many storms and tempests, but weathering these, one day he woke up and saw in the distance something so bright and effulgent that he realized this must be the island of diamonds. So, coming to land, taking the sacks, the potato sacks that he had brought with him, he quickly started to gather the diamonds that were strewn as far as the eye could see. But as he was filling his sacks, the people of the island came over and asked him, "What are you doing?" And the farmer said, "I'm going to be a rich man, I'm going to be a rich man, I'm gathering all these diamonds." And the people said, "Diamonds, they are everywhere, but you cannot eat diamonds." And so the farmer asked the man, "Well, what is it that you value?" And the people of the island said, "Well, someone came once and they found in the fields yonder potatoes." So the farmer said, "Well, there's no one that knows potatoes as well as I do." So he emptied the sacks of the diamonds that he'd gathered, and taking his sacks, he set out to the center of the island where there were fields, and he gathered potatoes and he brought them back to the people, and they were so happy. They put him on their shoulders and they took him back, and they made him a king of that place. And every now and again he'd take his sacks and gather some more potatoes for them. But after about a year, he said to the people, "Well, now I have to return to my family." So farewelling the people of the island, he got in his boat and he went back to his home place. And of course his family greeted him because they thought he'd been lost at sea, and they asked him, "Well, did you find the island of diamonds?" He said, yes, I did." And they said, "Well, where are they?" And he said, "Well, I've got something better than diamonds." And he took out of his boat several sacks of potatoes. So everyone, of course, was very, very disappointed. Potatoes, his wife said, "Potatoes, we know potatoes." But, what could she do? She took the potatoes and went off to cook them. But as it happened, the children were playing with the sacks that he had brought back with him, and it so happened that there were little small diamonds embedded in the seams of the sack. So in fact, it was found that these diamonds were enough to bring riches to the family. They were able to buy things that they were not able to buy before. And so they lived a full and rich life from there on. So the questions that arise from these stories is, what for us do the diamonds and the potatoes represent? And how do these two stories give us a gleaning of what it is that we're embarking on as our new exploration? What for you, diving deep into your own experience and wisdom, do the diamonds and potatoes of this story represent? What is this exploration we've already embarked on?
is